Hi, Tracy. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Hi, Susan. I am so excited as well.
These interviews that I'm doing with women in the second half of life are very precious to me because I feel that what I call wisdom is gleaned and gained from experiences that we have in the first half of life. And in our maturity is where we really have the opportunity to grow and make that impact, which is what leads to legacy, which is really my always agenda in the back of everything I do. So I understand that we are going to talk about such an important topic, especially for women and especially for women in the second half of life, fearlessness. So please introduce yourself and tell us what you want to share. And I want to let you know, I do try to keep these short. So I will be the timekeeper. And at some point I'll say, gotta end. Okay?
Okay, that sounds great. Well, thank you first, Susan, for inviting me to do this. It is the second half of life right now for me, and I've come a long way, baby.
Yeah.
My name's Tracy Eisenman. I'm a mother of 2 children. I've got a new partner in life, have a couple more kids and 5 grandchildren right now. So that's a focus in my life. And I want to talk about fearlessness because, oh my gosh, you can live such a great life if you identify your fears and learn to let them go. For me, I guess I had some natural fears. I was always pretty athletic and pretty much an adventurous kind of person. I loved to try something new, and oftentimes I failed, but I failed forward. And part of fearlessness is learning how to fail forward so that you will make mistakes and it's okay.
Yeah, of course, as women in the second half of life, we know that now. But really, when you're in your early 30s, mid 30s, you don't think it's okay to make mistakes. I love fail forward. I love that.
Yeah, it's really been huge for me. For me in my life, it was up until I was 26. That age, for some reason, is when I decided I wasn't going to live for the approval of my parents anymore. And maybe I was a late bloomer. I don't know. But at the time, I was living in a tent. I was in between homes. I couldn't find an apartment that would let me have a dog. I just moved to Wisconsin. And instead of paying $30 for me and $12 for my dog every day, I decided to go out, buy a tent, buy a Coleman stove, get a loaf of bread and some eggs, and live out in a state park for a while.
Yeah.
And that's when I realized, A, I was alone. I had my dog with me, which gave me comfort. It's always important to have that thing that protects you. Even if you're going to live fearlessly, you don't want to do it stupidly. You want to have at least looked into a little bit of what's the worst thing that could happen. And so for me, having no protection at all in a state park by myself, there's nobody else in these state parks. I was like the only one.
Right. I just want to let you know I'm taking notes because I'm so interested. So I keep looking down and taking notes.
Yeah,
So
sure.
even if you want to live fearlessly, you don't want to be stupid about it.
Right. No, you want to use your noggin, use your smarts, use what you know, because that sometimes gets you through. You know, when you're not sure quite what to do, you have to use your head about it to take chances. And I had my dog, so it was all good. And at that point in time, I was not going to tell my parents I was living in a tent in a state park, which normally I tell my parents everything. You know, I'm trying to be that good girl. And at that age, 26, I was 26, and I said, I'm doing this for me. I'm going to find out what I can do without. I want to find out how capable I am with a Coleman stove, a tent, a dog. I had a car, a loaf of bread, and some eggs.
Wow. How long did you live that way?
I was there for 2 weeks,
Wow.
which was just long enough to hike every day, to take pictures every day. I had a degree in wildlife biology and chemistry, so I knew what plants I could eat. So I would hike and I'd pick berries
Wow.
and get plants from nature and cook those up with my eggs. And I knew what was safe and what wasn't. Don't go out picking any red berry and put it in a pan and eat it because you could get very sick. But if you know what you're doing, then it's okay. You can do that.
Yeah, I love
And
that.
yeah, it was great. And so I guess that was where I launched from that point to being independent and knowing that if worse comes to worse, I can live in a tent with a dog, a loaf of bread, and some eggs.
Wow.
And so no matter what
Earlier,
has happened,
earlier you said maybe I was a late bloomer. No, I mean, we find people who are 35 today who are still living that life, especially today, more and more people in their mid 30s, still living at home, still being supported by their parents, and who didn't really do that independent launch. So 26 is not a late bloomer.
oh, wow, okay. Okay. Well, any time is a good time.
Yeah.
I think, and when you're on your own and you know you can make it, it gives you this empowerment that you feel proud of yourself. It's not a false pride. It's a real deep feeling of, for me anyway, of empowerment that I can handle whatever comes my way,
Mm.
and it feels really good. It
Mm.
feels really good. And so my next step, I guess, towards that, when I was growing up, back to my parents, because I was a good girl. I tried to be a good, honorable girl, in my family. And I wanted to ride on a motorcycle one day, and they said, no, over my dead body, they said, you're not going to ride a motorcycle. So when I turned 50 and my parents had both passed away, I decided that I was going to intentionally have a midlife crisis,
Okay.
and I bought myself a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And I had been to a super bike school. I teach Tai Chi. I do health and wellness for women, and so I taught Tai Chi at a super bike school for a couple months in the summer, and I loved the motorcycles, and I was teaching them how to do Tai Chi for their riding, but I didn't really understand the riding. So I thought, in order for me to really be good at this, coaching racers, I need to learn how to race. So I got a bike and I went to school. And in Pennsylvania, where I live, they have a motorcycle riding school that they'll do for free. It's 6 weeks training, book work, and it's the first time I got on a motorcycle, and they loan them out to you. And so I learned how to do it, from walking it to being on it, riding it, walking it, to going a little faster, to going through cones, and all the rules and the whole thing. So I did my due diligence, learning what I needed to know. And then a year later, I took my bike on a racetrack, and I went to racing school.
Oh my gosh.
And now my latest client, just as of last week, who I've wanted for years, is a top 20 motorcycle racer.
Nice. And so when you say client, what is the nature of the work that you do now?
Now I'm a performance coach, and I help people perform at their highest potential. So
Nice.
no matter what it is, you could be a motorcycle racer, or you could just want to lose 15 or 20 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all pretty much the same thing. You tweak it up a little bit.
Right. And clearly, to perform at your highest potential, there needs to be some level, some measure of fearlessness.
There does.
Yeah.
Because we've got these blocks in our mind. If you talk to business women, some of the blocks are, I can't make more money than my husband. What will happen to my relationship? What's his ego? What's going to happen to his ego if I excel? Or my friends might be jealous of me if I excel.
Mm.
So there's all these blocks that we have that we need to let go of and recognize the fact that it's okay for us to allow ourselves to be all that we can be. It's really okay.
I mean, this is, coming from a woman in the second half of life. This is the wisdom gleaned and gained. This is the maturity. That's the place you're coming from to help others understand that, it's good, it's okay to perform at your highest potential. Most of us just hold back. So I'm a confidence coach. And so I'm with people a little bit before they get to you, because they've got to even get to some level of confidence. But you're like, let's go to the highest level of potential. Bring your confidence, bring your fearlessness, and let's do this. I love that. That's very, very cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really exciting to watch people break through and just go where places that they don't really think they can go. They're not sure. For me, I wasn't sure I could ride a motorcycle, but when I took the steps to learn what's safe and what's not safe, safety is number one for me. You don't want to put yourself in harm's way where you could get hurt physically.
Well, that was carried forward from when you were 26, living in the park, and you had a dog, for safety. So yes. This goes back, sorry for saying, but it goes back decades. So that's where you carried that experience forward. That's what I talk about for us, mature women. We carry forward our experience and apply it now for impact.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, everything that you've done in the past has a purpose, right? We might not know exactly what it is, but it's really powerful when you get in the second half of life. You pull from you already have that piece. So you don't have to recreate it. You just need to learn how to use it so that it can put wind in your sails and take you wherever you want to go.
And as we were talking about a little bit before I started recording this, you said everything that you've done in the past has a purpose. And I might say everything that's happened to you in the past also has a purpose you can learn from.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Even though at the time it doesn't really seem like it has any value at all, or maybe negative value, it's there for a reason. And just if you trust that you're going through it because you need to go through it. It was, the way I look at it is, you signed up for whatever happens to you. You signed up for this before you even came on this planet. You got in line and you said, oh, me, I want to experience that. And then our memory gets wiped out when we're born, and we don't even remember that this is something that we wanted to learn. And that when you realize that, if you do or don't, you look at it a little differently, and you're grateful for those experiences because they make you whole. They make you who you are.
But again, I'm resonating so deeply about the fact that, at our age, if you forgive the expression, we can really know this and feel this. And that's why I'm so excited about this conversation with you. It's why I'm doing these interviews for my YouTube channel, so that younger women, I call them our younger sisters, can actually listen to this conversation and learn from it. So just very quickly before we end, tell me, what is the nature? You're a performance coach. Do people work with you for a coaching package for a period of time? How do people work with you?
Okay, sure. Well, I have an accountability group that works with me on a monthly basis, and that one's for health and wellness. And it's just like a Facebook group, and we cheer each other on. And I have team coaching, group coaching on a monthly basis. And then I have one-on-one coaching. And the one-on-one is a little more of an extended period of time. It's a 6-month minimum. And that is where you invest in yourself. And I guarantee that when you come out of that 6 months or a year later, you will have reached your reasonable goals. We set SMART goals, and you change. You change into that person that you really, really want to be.
Mm. This is so important right now. I know that we share a belief, even though we don't know each other.
No.
We're just meeting, really. But we share. I am doubtless that we share a belief system that everything in its time, everything happens exactly as it happens. Right now, in our country today, in our world today, in particular, women are rising, and women are rising as leaders in every industry. And in order to truly be a leader, you need to be fearless. You need to be able to perform at your highest potential. So I am thrilled to know you, to have this conversation, to know about your work. I'm a fan now. I will send people over to you because I think that it's really vitally important right now. So if you're a woman watching this and you're in the second half of life, Tracy and I are both here to tell you that you've got a lot of living to do and a lot of impact to make. And if you can fearlessly and confidently grow and find, that platform to stand on and launch from, the impact is really limitless. It's really yours to make. So Tracy, before we go, just tell us, where can we find you?
So you can find me at tracylinn.com. It's spelled TRACYLINN.com. That's my website. And from there, you can find other places that I am.
Good, good. Well, I will definitely put the link in the description of this video. I'm going to bring us to a close now, and I hope that people contact you. I hope that they join your Facebook group, because we need fearless women right now.
We do.
To our viewers, go be fearless. And Tracy, thank you so much. It's great to know you, and I'll look forward to another conversation.
Thank you, Susan. This is lovely. I really appreciate you calling on me. Thank you.
Absolutely. I'll see you soon.